It's Wednesday, July 13th. You're watching the Weather Network. This is video on Tuesday in Minnesota after we had a lot of rainfall. And by a lot, I mean about 5 inches. You don't believe me? Well, one of our viewers actually measured for us, so thank you very much. This was sent in on Twitter. Sauk Rapids up to 5 inches of rain. Of course, those rivers and streams running very, very fast, so take it easy out there. We could see some more localized flash flooding after today's storms through the upper Midwest and through the Great Lakes. There's a cold front, actually 2 rounds of severe weather that we'll tell you about. That's going to be happening today, this evening, and then again tomorrow. Sweltering heat in the south, and by that I mean feeling close to about 110, maybe even 112 for some locations, and 2 tropical storms to tell you about. A lot going on this Wednesday. All right, let's talk a little bit about our pattern map. Severe storms, as I mentioned, in this area. We've got extreme heat. We've got the risk for some forest fires again today with these windy conditions. And for the Pacific Northwest, you are relatively cool still in the upper 60s. There's a look at our heat advisory by the National Weather Service. That includes, I guess, the southern portions of the panhandle of Texas, eastern New Mexico, from about Amarillo down and through Lubbock, Texas. And Lubbock, I think you're, up in the upper 90s for many days. Your long range looks very similar. A lot of plus 100 mark Fahrenheit temperatures, so we're looking at triple digits for a lot of people. Let's take a look today right across the nation. The Music City at about 89, Houston, there it is, 97. Some of these inland locations a lot hotter than that. Phoenix at 108, Los Angeles at 80, and Seattle a little bit cooler at 72. Chicago, you're going to be pretty warm into Thursday as well and Friday, but you will have a slight cool down over the weekend before we really ramp up that heat. And we talked a little bit about the dry conditions out west, still tracking some wildfires. We'll take you to Colorado. This was near the Cold Springs fire, which was up around 600 acres at one point. And this was a video from yesterday. You can see they're still trying to work their way to getting that fire contained. So 'tis the season, right? Hot and dry conditions. We get those winds downsloping east of the Rocky Mountains, and you can have dry thunderstorms. You can have lightning, triggers more fires. So slight risk for storms. Let's turn our attention to basically the lower Great Lakes, Chicago. We're watching you very closely today. Omaha, Nebraska, St. Louis, into Detroit, although today not quite as high a risk for Detroit, but tomorrow there is. You were just looking at a big blast of energy basically being funneled from the Gulf of Mexico, that instability, moisture, all the way to the Great Lakes. This is a look at the hail potential. It's very widespread. Again, probably from about Detroit down to Wichita, Kansas. There's our tornado potential today. Green Bay, Wisconsin, all the way down in through St. Louis and then eastward almost to Detroit. There's a 2% chance of a tornado. Keep it here all afternoon for the latest.